Good morning, everybody. It is a bright, beautiful morning here in the mountains of Boise, Idaho. And I wanted to bring you some positive good morning, smile, and sunshine stretch light here. So, what we're going to do with this, and let me know if you are enjoying this, that we're going to smile, we're going to laugh, we're going to dance a little bit. We're just going to take a little break to start our day. You can even do a little morning meditation, all that kind of good stuff. But we're here to keep it positive, to smile, and wake up in sunshine. So thank you so much for the hearts out. Alrighty, and we have like a little puppy cameo. So, you know, who can resist cute dogs, right? So here we go. Here we get a puppy cameo. Hi, girls. Say hi. That's Layla and Shiva. 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 So, and then you may hear the sounds of birds. You may hear some turkeys, all kinds of stuff. Let's see here if I can get over into the light here and see the little fish in the pond. They're in there somewhere. Anyway, they're swimming around. Okay, let's get started. Let's just take a moment, and I'm going to kind of point this toward the sunshine because isn't that gorgeous? So good morning, everybody. I've got my little gloves on. I highly recommend. It's a little nippy out here, a little frosty, but it's really nice to get out in nature and enjoy breathing and smiling. So I have my gloves on because I do like to hoop outside, but it's cold and the hoop gets really cold in my hand really fast. So I use this. One of my tricks is using the grippy gloves, and that helps me hold on to the hoop. If you don't have a hoop, that's okay. We're just going to imagine. So what we're going to do right now is we're just going to start out with a moment of intent, and you can just close your eyes and take a couple deep breaths in. We're going to take a nice deep inhale in. Breathe in that sunshine, that warmth, that love, that light. And then exhale it out. Breathe out. Release anything that's not working for you. Release any feelings you don't want to have in your body. Inhale in what you do want. Breathe it in. Take it all in. Exhale. Release anything out. And then one more time, inhaling it in. And then exhale out. And then we can do a little laughter yoga exercise too. This is my favorite one. And this is fountain laughter. So let's see here. I might need to adjust the camera a little bit here and back up slightly. Let's see if I can get this. Oh, I love the sunshine rays shining in there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a nice deep breath in, and I'm going to take my hands in a prayer position, take a nice inhale in. And then as we come out, really reach up to the sky and then laugh it all the way out. And then inhale it in and curl it all the way up the body. Inhale it in and then laugh and exhale it out nice and big. One more time, take it in. And stretch it up to the sky. You can even stretch it back a little bit if you like. And then exhale it out. And then just breathe normally after that. And after laughter yoga exercises, we take our hands together and we take them together nice and big and wide and go very good, yay, very good, yay. And the reason why we do that is there's lots of acupressure points on the hands to do that with. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a little warm-up stretch. Let's take the head down to the chin to the chest, and then just take a nice deep inhale in, look up to the sky, or your ceiling, whatever, and just appreciate everything that's around you. And then exhale it out and bring it down. And you can bring the shoulders in on this if you want, and take like a bit of a cat-cow yoga methodology. So what we're doing, I call it dance adapted stretching. That's what I like to do because I have a long background in dance, but I also love yoga a lot too. So I've adapted a lot of these yogic movements to dance capabilities as well. And it's also really good for injury, what do you call it? Recovery. So whatever you're dealing with, this is really helpful. So inhale it in, widen the chest out, so expand out, and you can bring the hands back and stretch. And then we're going to exhale it out, bring it in and over, and curl the back over the spine like you're curling over a big ball. And then inhale it in, expand it out like you're curving around the ball, or you're a hood ornament of a beautiful, expensive car, or you're on okay, I don't want to say the bow of a ship. Just think of that, but don't think of what ship it is. So anyway, again, I like to laugh, and then exhale it out, inhale it in. If you need to take more breaths while I'm explaining, go ahead, of course, and then exhale it out, inhale it in, and then turn this into a dance movement where you're bringing it in, contracting over, and expanding out. Inhale or exhale it out as you contract and breathe all the air out, and inhale it in, expand and move those lungs, move that spine. Yeah, yes, nice and big. And then we could take this with the legs too. So we want to get upper and lower body. You won't be able to see this on camera necessarily, but you're going to take this in, and you can bring the knee in. And you can be sitting on the ground and doing this too. So if that feels more comfortable, do whatever feels good and comfortable for you. So bringing the leg in, and you can expand this out. And then bring the other leg in and expand this out. So if you're on the ground, obviously you have a little better balance. I'm also on a little bit of a frosty deck right now, so that makes it entertaining. So exhale it out. Inhale, expand. Exhale it out. Inhale, expand. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit here. I'm going to do a little bit of a hip stretch. Now, when you're holding any tension or anything that you need to release, it's really important to move the hips. This root chakra holds on to a lot of energy. So we want to take and expand out to the right, to the left, or whichever direction you want to start in. It's okay. This isn't about getting moves perfect. It's just about moving, smiling, stretching, and doing. So get up, stretch out, stretch, 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 stretch. Again, it's a cold, nippy morning here on a mountaintop, but it's really beautiful. I'm not using music because I think the sounds of nature are kind of nice. And there's literally a group of turkeys off in the background, so I love the turkeys. They're so social and fun, and they have like such neat sounds. So we're just taking and expanding the hips out, and you're pressing into the hip and lunging out. So I'm lunging out to the right, and I'm leaving the left leg nice and long and straight. Let's see if I can adjust the camera here to demonstrate that a little bit better. I'm still a bit in my jammies here, so that's the wild bit. So you're expanding out, expanding out, expanding out, expanding out. So, and then you can take and expand out the arms. It's like a presentation to the world, or just reaching out and in taking everything great that the world has to offer. There are so many people that are doing so many wonderful things in the world right now, and being creative and taking some self-time and thinking and connecting with people. So I want to highly encourage you to do that. Connect. So we're stretching out, stretch, stretch. Now let's just take the arms and move them and sway them. And what we're doing is we're reaching up to the sky, and you can bend the legs. So as I'm going over to the right, I can reach over to the toe and reach up to the sky with my right arm. And then I can go over to the left side and bend that leg. Or you can, as you feel more comfortable and more warmed up in this stretch, you can start taking this on a straight leg. And still, on this one, I do want you to move your hips with this. Normally, we would be doing a static stretch, and you'd want to keep your hips in alignment. But I want you to dance and move. It's about moving the whole body and getting some movement. And breathing in. And keep smiling. The smiling, there's a method to my madness. The smiling helps your endorphins. And when you put more endorphins into your body, you reduce your cortisol levels, and it just makes everything work better in your body. All your cells are healthier, happier, you're more fun to be around, all kinds of stuff. So let's do a gentle twist. Now I'm going to show you something. If you have a hoop, so I'm going to use this one. My hoops are getting a little frosty right now. So if you have a hoop, great. If you don't, that's okay too. So I just want you to take and do a gentle twist. And if you don't have a hoop, you can either just imagine that you have one. So you're keeping this nice and parallel to the ground, and you're doing a gentle twist. Now what I want you to add to this is to look over your shoulder. So not only are you looking over to your shoulder, so if I'm twisting to the right, I'm looking over that right shoulder, but I'm looking all the way over to the left. See how far you can go with that as you're twisting. So as I'm looking over the left shoulder, and I'm really twisting over almost to where my right shoulder was before. I'm looking all the way over. So you can do this nice and gentle and slow. Nice and gentle and slow. Gentle and slow. Now we're going to take the hoop and we're going to twist up and then twist down. So we're twisting and starting out twisting down to the right and then up to the left. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. One more time. Inhale it up. And exhale it down. And then we're going to switch it over. So we're going to start low to the left. So down. And then inhale it up to the right. And then exhale it down to the left. Twisting. And you want to bring the hoop nice and straight up. Like you're in the cylinder. And then exhale it down to the left. And whichever side you're doing is just fine. And then up. And then down. One more time. Just bring it all the way up. And all the way down. It is so nice to come out and have sunshine beaming, and even though it's like a little bit nippy, it's really nice. So now what we're going to do is, I love this one. This is an off-body schmear. So again, if you don't have a hoop, that's okay. I want you to just dance this. So what we're doing is we're just taking and moving the hips around in a big circle. Again, when you work those hips, you release a lot of that energy of stuff that you don't want and bring in stuff that you do want. So we're going to take this a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, as you feel warmer and more comfortable with this stretch. So I'm just taking hips around to the right, and now we're going to switch it over to the left. And try and keep the butt back nice and straight on this. If you want to get a little extra, you can actually make a little, but I want you to keep the legs straight on this and the back straight on this right now. So keep this up and moving. Up and moving, up and moving. And if you're just joining, welcome to the Wake Up and Sunshine Stretch and Dance. So, okay, doggy cameo. So now what I'd like you to do is we're going to take and bring the hoop all the way down. Now this is in a cylinder. This is how I get people to do the two-handed float. So a little bit of a hoop lesson here as well. So we're going to take the hoop all the way up, kind of like the old Star Trek movies. All the way up, stretch, and if you want, go up on the toes and then come all the way down. And think of this as bringing like a cloak of good positive energy. As you bring this all the way up, bring all that beautiful energy in as you inhale it up. Reach to the sky and then exhale it down. Keep smiling the whole way. Inhale it in and come up on the toes if you like, and then exhale it out. Inhale it in and exhale it out. Now we're just going to shake it up. Now I do a little bit of laughter yoga, a little bit of belly dance, all kinds of stuff, and I try and keep it light and positive and humorous. I know there's a lot of things going on right now, but I want this to be a positive message for you. So what we're going to do, and you can do this with the hoop too. You don't have to have the hoop if you don't want, but we're just going to shake this all out. So we're just going to do a little hip shimmy and just shake this out. I don't care if you're a guy, if you're a girl, or just shaking it out, okay? So if you want to put on music, feel free. So let's get the hips into it for sure, and then start getting the shoulders into it, and then just moving side to side. If you want, just start with the hips and get one thing, and then you can start layering it on. It's kind of like a slow, big shimmy if you want. And we're just getting the shoulders into it. And then if you want to add a little extra fun, we're going to take the hips and turn that into a shimmy. So we're just, and with the leg, so what a shimmy is, it's a belly dance move, but anybody can do it. It's kind of like a shivering move, if you will. I like to break things down into a nice, simple way to do it. So you're taking your legs and you're just fluttering them back and forth, nice and big and loose. You let that booty go. So you just rock it on out. So, So hopefully I'm getting you giggling and laughing at least. So I'm turning around just so you can see what this sort of looks like. So, but feel free to do this however the heck you want. So you're just taking the legs nice and big. And like if you did this, remember when you were a little kid and if you took the school bus to school and if you sat in the back of the bus and you did this, and when you went over the bumps, your voice modulated. It's kind of like that. So if you want to have like a verbal on this one and just go, have fun with that. We don't do that in belly dance. All my belly dance friends are probably looking at me like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. That's okay. I'm not here to show you perfect belly dance, but just getting that hip shimmy in. Again, going to release a lot of things out the hips and get them moving. So get those shoulders going again. So you can get a hip shimmy going. And then if you start getting a hip shimmy going on one side, it's called a freeze. I know it's kind of weird because it's like, but it's moving. So I'm just moving the right leg. So I'm just like really fluttering the right leg. And I'm getting that movement in my hip. And I'm going to take it over to the left and get that flutter into the left hip. And then right hip and left hip. Now I'm taking the legs and they're actually a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, but you can take this. Now I'm bringing the legs in together and I'm taking to the right and stretching that hip out a little bit more and getting that shimmy in. I'm getting a full shimmy and then out to the left, getting a full shimmy. And again, do this however the heck you want, just so that you're moving and enjoying it. That's the whole point. So, and smiling. So, and if you want to laugh through this, you can laugh through this. So we're going to scoop this up with a hoop. Scoop this up. Scoop this up. Keep it shimmy. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. And then you can take this in like, a little bounce shimmy. We're going to take this around with the hips. And I'm going to take this around to the right, nice and big. So I'm just like gently, I'm on the balls of my feet and my feet are just coming up and I'm just taking my heels and gently tapping them on the ground. So the front of my foot is staying in place. I'm trying to demonstrate it with my hands. Anyway, just give it a try. So, and you can lap this around the whole time. I hear the dog's coming. And then let's switch the direction of it. Whatever direction you were starting with, try the other one. I'm starting to slide out on the frost on the deck here. So, all right. So, now, if you do have your hoop with you, that's great. Let's try a little bit of waist hooping. I'm going to switch to a little bit bigger hoop just for kicks and giggles because I brought 3 hoops out here, so I might as well. Okay, so, and if you don't have a hoop, that's okay. Just dance. Just take this time, breathe it in, enjoy the mountain view, enjoy the sounds of the mountains. So I highly encourage you to switch directions with your hoop. And this waist hooping, this is a great thing. So if you haven't hooped before, hooping, especially waist hooping, most people think that waist hooping is hooping, who haven't tried hooping yet. But there's so much more to it than that. There's lots of things that you can do with it on and off body. This is an on body move because the hoop is on body. So what this does, this helps make you happier in a lot of ways because it's hitting a lot of acupressure points. So, and also it's giving you an internal organ massage. Isn't that awesome? It's hitting a lot of acupressure points on the outside of your body. Massaging the inner stuff too. So I want you to have good intent while you're doing this. Smile, laugh, move your arms around. We're going to extend out the fingertips. We call this in hooping T-rexing, where you bring everything in and tight. We want to open and loosen it. So we want to drop the shoulders down, make everything go out nice and gently. And switch directions with the hoop. So if you just hoop in one direction or dance in one direction, turn in one direction, I highly encourage you to do both, both sides, right and left, because they work different sides of your brain. So the right side controls the left side of your body and the left side controls the right side of your body. So you're working the brain, you're opening up the new neural pathways when you're moving around and you're making body and mind connections. So this is really good for movement, for happiness, to dance, and you have more available when you're using both sides. Okay. And then if you want, you can take this not just from your waist, you can also move it up to the chest, but you can also move it down to the hips too. So when you move it down to the hips, you might need to go a little bit faster. And you may need to turn with this. So turn in the direction that your hoop is spinning. And again, if you don't have a hoop, that's okay. Just move around and dance with me. Okay. Little waist tubing, little waist tubing, little waist tubing. Now, if you want, if you can, try and move the shoulders around. So circling the shoulders around while waist tubing. So we're going to add that in. Moving the shoulders around. And you don't have to add the arms in just yet. Just let the hands float, but try and keep the fingers nice and long. Rolling the shoulders back while wasting. Waist hooping while wasting. Waist hooping. Again, try to keep this fun, light, and enjoyable. There's lots of other things you can watch in the world that aren't. This is a moment of peace, of happiness, of laughter, and smiling. So, if you're enjoying this, just share this with somebody else that you might think might enjoy this as well. So, sharing is caring. All right. So, we're getting some good movement going here, whether you're just dancing around or hooping, moving the shoulders, and do whatever you feel good with. You know, if you're not feeling quite so-called, I'm using air quotes on this, coordinated enough, leave the shoulders out. Maybe get one shoulder in every once in a while instead of just getting two. So get one in and then move around. And then get the other in and move around. So just try what feels good to you. Expand out your horizons. If you're already great at that, add levels of things that are different for you that you haven't tried. You know, roll the arms around. See what you can do to expand and move your dance around. Moving your feet. So moving the knees up. Now I'm going to bring it up and bring it to the chest and do some little breaks here where I'm passing the hoop. And if you're not familiar with breaks yet, what I'm doing is I'm basically tossing the hoop from one side to the other. Now I'm going to do it on an angle so you can see it a little bit better. So when you're doing it on an angle, make sure that you're not curving the back in. Keep nice, good posture. So keep a nice, straight, elongated back. Keep the abdominal wall pulled in. And keep the hips tucked under. So keep breathing. Keep smiling. Hear the birdies greeting. And if you want, you can take a little extra. And again, if you don't have a hoop, that's okay. Just dance this out. So do these like a barrel roll turn. And what you're doing is you're spotting. So you're looking ahead. You're spotting in that direction. Keep looking, keep looking, keep looking. And then quickly turn around and then look back at that point where you can't look any further. So that's what spotting is. That's a dancer move. Learn and smile while all this. Okay. And, all right. All right. And then you can take and get a little extra. You can take one arm up. So even if you don't have breaks and stuff like that, just hold the hoop. Hold the hoop and reach out and expand out. Hold the hoop. And if you do want to try getting some extra this is one of my favorite ninja hoop moves is a shout out to ninja hoops. There are so many really neat hoopers out in the community. So many people in the world that are doing such neat, really wonderful things. Dropkick Murphys the other night did a free concert. A lot of people are doing online things these days. This is a nice free exercise, morning smile and stretch. Get a little belly dance in. Now we're just going to jam. So just, and again, if you don't have a hoop, that's okay. Just dance, move around. I'm just here to help inspire you with a smile. Take nice deep breaths in. Really stretch your spine out. Move those legs. Let's see if I can do that one. I don't know if I'm that warmed up yet. So, move the hips. Move everything around. And really just breathe in. Breathe in appreciation, gratitude, blessings for everybody around you. Everybody around the planet could use some good love and energy all the time. Reach out with somebody today that you haven't connected with in a while. Send them a smile, a hug, a love, just a loving thought. Send them a prayer if you want to do that. Send them an email, a text, whatever. So we're just hoop jamming and moving around, enjoying the sounds of nature. If you can get out and just breathe some fresh air, do that. And just get a couple more moments here of this. Extending it long. Getting things right. It's just moving, just smiling. Inner heart and joy. Joy.